as far as employment laws goes, is what's called Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So if you haven't yet read it, Chapter 30, or on yours it's Chapter 50, which is interesting, but Chapter 30 gives a pretty good synopsis, like in 3 pages, of sort of the history of civil rights in America. I mean, of course you could write a whole book on it, but I think they do a pretty good job of covering it in those 3 pages, of sort of telling you how we got to the point where this legislation passed, where there was enough pressure in Congress that people felt like they needed laws to keep people from discriminating against people in the workplace. So the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and then Title VII is the part that deals with employment, okay? Prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex, religion, national origin, and color. Nothing else, just those. And it established something called the Equal Opportunity Employment Commission. I'm sorry, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the EEOC. We've learned by now, right, that when legislation passes and it creates an agency of the government, we call that an enabling act. So this was an enabling act. It enabled the president to deal with this law that had a bunch of special provisions relating to employment. Okay, so it applies to employers with more than 15 employees. It also applies to all employment agencies or labor unions that have more than 15 members. It applies to state and local governments, and then, as with most federal regulation, it applies to most federal government employment, meaning there are portions of it that they left exempt. Anybody have a guess of maybe an area that was exempted from some of the provisions of the Civil Rights Act of 1964? The United States military. Okay. Women were not allowed to fight in combat until the 1990s, simply because they were women, right? So the remedies include back pay, reinstatement, and promotion. So in essence, the remedies are like making it right. So if you didn't get promoted because of your race and you could show that, then the remedy is that you get promoted. Okay. What's hard about that is when the government forces someone to promote you, life's not going to be easy for you thereafter, right? Everybody's going to be like, even if everybody sort of accepts it, they're still going to be like, oh, well, that's that woman that went to the EEOC and made us get, and that will always be there. So it's tough. So the people who actually win awards or win promotions or win reinstatement to their jobs over this often face a really difficult time. They have to be pretty tough people who are willing to sort of put up with it, because most people would probably rather just quit and move somewhere else where they'd be appreciated than stay somewhere where nobody likes them. So it takes someone pretty tough to say, I deserve that promotion. I think I was discriminated against, so I'm going to file a claim. And if they get the promotion based on the claim, they know they're going to have to live with, people can't be overtly hostile toward them, but you know how people are. They're people.